Okay, now she's recording. I won't say it.
Now I'm recording.
Yeah, give me one second.
I have a slide deck, but it is not great. I kind of think we may talk about other stuff. So I may not even really display all of it. Our agenda is a little bit wonky. I want to just talk about all kinds of things. And so I don't know that it's really helpful. So I may not, let's just not even show it. And I'm not using anything for live closed captioning, but there will be closed captioning. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you just got to click the little button. Should be down here, closed captioning. And I will have that available in a closed captioning on YouTube. So it won't be double. Those are actually better. I hope that that's working for people. I would love feedback if it is or isn't. Always want feedback. So we'll give people a couple of minutes to join us. In fact, maybe I should remind you for fun.
Sage, thanks for hosting the deck and the slides since my internet is out. A lot of fun over here right now.
You are so welcome. That is such a bummer.
Yeah. Yesterday it went out toward the end of the workday, so I was like, well, all right, forced stop. That's fine. Okay. But then it was still going on this morning. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Things to do. Good group.
Yeah, happy to host and to help out.
Anyone have fun plans for their long weekend?
Anybody just still in quarantine?
Right? Fun plans. What are we binging this weekend?
I know we've started to do not only puzzles, but 3D puzzles.
Ooh.
So my daughter did an Eiffel Tower, and I have another one that's like an owl that becomes like like it holds your pens and pencils. It's like a cup. And we did the Cinque Terre puzzle that was 1,000 pieces. We did another one. We're in the middle of one that's the Greek Isles. Lots of puzzles and games, but I just got an Oculus, so we'll be doing that this weekend.
Ooh, that's cool.
That's what I'm doing.
That sounds
I haven't actually been able to play it yet because my kids have been on it.
I'm trying to remember if it was the Oculus or not. I remember some like early last year, like March, April last year, somebody actually made a virtual reality game of like being on an airplane, just because people were starting to miss travel. And so all you did was like sit in an airplane chair and like look out the window, like that's it.
Funny.
Your snacks.
But people were into it. I don't even know if there were snacks, like virtual snacks.
It's really funny.
No, a guy posted on social media he was sitting by his dryer, the circled dryer door, and he made it look like an airplane window and angled it just right. So he's like, having a great day, and people are like, what? You're on a plane? He's like, no. And he like zoomed out a little further. But good. So Tom's Restaurant opened yesterday.
That's right. Woohoo!
I was looking for it on the internet, and there's already like a Beers and Barley in Park City or Burgers and Barley or whatever. Isn't that
I
what
did
it's
the
called?
same thing to look it up, and it was just Park City. But it's not affiliated with that one, no. It's its own thing. The Burgers and Barley in American Fork. They just haven't put up their social pages yet.
So the name isn't trademarked.
I guess not.
It's
Or
not
it's
a
not gonna be
franchise. It's not a franchise.
Jump on it and then sue the other guy.
Right. Yeah. So it was really good though. I got the Aloha burger. It has like a pineapple on it, and
Nice.
pretty good. I went there thinking I was just going to be having dinner alone, but a bunch of salt engineers were there. So
Yeah, they had said that they were going to join that during the social hour that we have sometimes, you know.
Okay. Well, that was a pleasant surprise for me. Got to hang out with Tyler and Felipe and Bryce.
It's awesome.
So.
That's great.
Fun.
Well, we're 5 minutes in. Let's go ahead and get started. Janae, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, welcome everybody to Open Hour. Really glad you're here. Glad we can connect with you every week and talk about SALT projects and all the things that we have going. Obviously, we love being able to get you guys all in one space where we can and talk about these things. So I'm Janae Andrus. I'm the community manager for SALT, and Sage Robbins is helping me out with the deck since my internet's out. I appreciate her. And of course, we have the core team as well. So we're all here for you. Do we have the deck? Is that? Okay, I just can't see it. This will be extra fun since I can't see the slides.
Let me just bring that up. It's taking me a minute for some reason.
Oh,
I'm slow.
good.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm just glad it wasn't just me that couldn't see them. I thought, well, this will be an interesting open hour, flying blind.
Here we go. Yeah, this may not be
Awesome.
completely up to date. We're probably going to add a lot of things to this agenda, but you go ahead.
Yes. Yes, and this might be the last time you see this kind of branding on this deck, because we're going to have our new branding here in the next week or so, and that's our exciting announcement. So generally speaking, today we'll have a few updates for the aluminum release. The Docs Clinic is today, and then we'll do a Q&A. And of course, we always have a link to our steps if anyone has any new SALT enhancement proposals to submit or wants to talk about existing ones, we can certainly do that. All right, so general updates. We have new branding, like we hinted at, and we are moving to saltproject.io shortly, not yet. So this is all starting in February. We're kicking off the year really in February with a lot of new fun, exciting things. In particular, the SALT project branding, which may sound superfluous. It's just branding, right? But it's really critical because it highlights the fact that SALT project still stands on its own. It's autonomous from the acquisition of VMware, and I feel like it's really important to note that we're really excited about being part of VMware, but we're still very much SALT and doing our thing. And I think it's just so important to highlight to the community. And we're going to be talking about that a little bit more this month in one of our virtual meetups that we're really excited about. Next week on the 20th, we will have our own Tom Hatch, as well as Suzanne Ambiel, speaking together at our first of our monthly virtual meetup. And that's actually starting just next week. So we'll post the details to that event. But I hope you guys can all make it, because we'll have Tom and Suzanne talking about SALT Open and VMware and the relationship between the two. And I think it will be really enlightening and surprising. And to let you all know who Suzanne Ambiel is, she is essentially the person in VMware that is over the open source projects that are connected to VMware and making sure that their branding and their marketing is kind of what VMware has in mind. And it is really enlightening and interesting to talk to her and see how much she supports and encourages the autonomy of these open source projects. And I think everyone will really enjoy hearing from her and hearing from VMware, and always, of course, from Tom. So we're really excited about these things, and we'll be talking about them. We'll also have a blog coming out this month along the same topic. So by the end of the month, you don't all know really clearly and plainly how VMware feels about open source. You're just not paying attention, because we're going to be beating that drum. So we're excited about it. So that's kind of my spiel on that. Does anyone have any questions, thoughts on that before we move on? Okay, we'll get the link to that virtual meetup that's next week on the 20th. We'll get the link to that in the What's Happening next week. So you should see it on Tuesday. We've been posting our What's Happening on Tuesday.
Yeah, and if I can get it, I'll put it in the notes as well, even if it's after I post them. We'll put it there too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, I have to get it all set up without internet, so it might be early next week.
that's totally good. I'll just make sure that they're in there too.
Perfect.
Well,
And
no
I
other
think that's it.
questions.
in
Yeah.
general.
So just really quickly about the release aluminum release milestones. We did change one date here. This is the RC available dates. It's a February 4th. So that kind of changes code freeze date. So that's when that's coming. We've been asked to have some reminders. So putting it here, and then I'll put it here every week so that people know when that's coming. We will start a cooling phase. We would really love to get merge complete by the 28th. So that then we can start the RC process and really start the cooling process so that we can just get things in to the RC and get it packaged and get it ready to go out and have it be available. We needed to do that, I think, mostly because of the break. We're just simply not ready. So we're moving that a week and just communicating that out and continue to communicate that. I don't anticipate any more changes, but just letting everybody know that that's when the date will start.
Are we going to update all of the repo dependencies, like getting EPEL packages updated in time for the RC, or is that going to be after?
That's a good question. If we can do it for the RC, I would like to. You and I can talk about that, Bryce.
Cool.
Any other questions? Okay. Go ahead, Janae. If you're available.
I'm available.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So Doc's working group is today. We'll be doing it at 2 o'clock Mountain Time, which is 8 o'clock Universal Time. I still don't understand Universal Time, but we still put it on there for everyone's benefit, except for mine, since it just confuses me. And so these are the calendar links, and we'll send those out in the notes. But yeah, the Doc's clinic should be good today, 2 o'clock. So hope you can make it if you're interested. Anyone want to add anything?
Yeah, that's streaming on Twitch, I believe. Is that right, Derek?
Yeah, that'll be streaming on Twitch later today.
Yep. So we don't do a Zoom with it. We'll just do the Twitch live stream. And please join us for that. I think that'll be really great. I will mention here, since I have it here, and this has been part of this deck, is that the Outlook calendar is not great. I am not in love with it. I haven't really heard from the community too much about it, a little bit, but as I went to go and try to use it as a community member and try to make sure that it was looking, okay, and that it was at least usable, it's terrible. And so I am looking into that to really use something else, and I wish I could just move it to something better. We haven't made a decision on that yet, but I only want to move it once if I do that and make that clean. So, but I have heard the feedback that has come back. I have used it myself and think that it's bleh. So please continue to give us feedback about that, and we will look to be making that better in the future. So more to come about that.
Yeah, and we have run into issues just with the start times, and there's just some settings that we can't access, and things that should be just really small fixes are bigger. So we hear you, and we're not neglecting it. It's just a thing. So we're coming up with a solution. Sage is a rock star on that. So you're definitely all being heard on that. We're gonna hopefully shift that. I think it'll be a positive shift.
Yes.
We've got to have a good calendar so we can all know what's happening.
Absolutely. And right now that one's not very good. So we're going to fix it.
Very critical. Yeah. So before we jump into our Q&A, I just want to give a little teaser to everybody. For those of you who have watched any of our Salt Air episodes, which is essentially our YouTube channel, right? We have a lot of videos out on our YouTube channel. We're going to be revamping Salt Air, and so keep an eye out for that. That should be launching in February. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be hosting it. Tom will be on it. and we're going to have a lot of the core team guesting, and we're really excited. In addition, of course, like I mentioned, we have our virtual monthly meetups. And again, if you would like to speak, I know we'll have Randy speaking on that soon. If anyone else is interested in just being part of a virtual meetup, or a Salt Air wants to share like a use case with Salt, we'd love to involve you. So reach out to me. I'd love to hear from you. Just reach out to me on Slack and we'll get you involved. We're really excited about that. And of course, the hacks will continue, and you're going to start seeing our SaltStack social pages turn over to be Salt Project pages. So find us on social media. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be good. And thank you, Sage, for the hack plug there.
You're welcome. This is actually really exciting that we are going to be able to have this social media plugs and be able to use those platforms for this project and to continue that on. I think in the past, they were really geared towards our enterprise product. And so it is really great that we get to focus on the Salt project. And I am really excited about this. I think that the broader community will be glad to have these platforms as well. And this is just really exciting time for us to be like, yes, we have heard that you want this, and we are going to give it to you. We are going to have it. And I'm excited. I hope you are.
It's gonna be pretty great. And I hope that a lot of you guys will get on the social media platforms and engage with people in the comments, and tell us how wonderful Salt Project is and all of those things. So should be great. Does anyone have anything that they want to add, or do we just want a whole bunch of time back in our day?
Yeah, or we just open it up to general Q&A. Anybody have a general question or stuff they want to go over or dive into? Or I know we have some, we have a few steps out there, and I know that we have some that need to be drafted. We are still working on that, and I know that Barney, glad you're here. We want to get that security working group started, and we've been a little slow on it. We've all had things. We'll work on that.
I did just have a question about that. I was having a look at in terms of setting that up, is the right thing to do just to open a pull request against, there's like a working group's raw data.yaml in the community repo. If I were to sort of start fleshing that out and just open a pull request.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, however you want to do it, whatever is most comfortable for you. I think in the past, we've very informally done things, and I think that the pull request would be great. I gave you like that one page, like here's some of the stuff that we'd like to know, and basically it's just who, when, and what their goal is. Yeah,
cool. There's also a mention in the community repo README saying about the application process that there's a survey. Is that what you're talking about, or is there a separate thing? It says, if for membership of a working group there is, an application process and survey. Is that available anywhere? Right. Okay. Fair enough.
I should update that.
Cool.
I will. Yeah. Mostly we just say if you would like to join a working group, please attend. If you have more questions, we have a captain usually, so that there's someone who can kind of field the questions and say, yes, this is when it is. Yes, we're having it this month. Here's kind of what we're doing, and kind of lead out a little bit with that. Make sure that there's either meeting notes or a project board, so that it's exposed so people can join, and that's about it.
Cool. Yeah. So just while I'm talking, one other question, or actually a couple of other questions.
Sure.
With the Salt project rebrand, is the GitHub org going to change?
Not as far as we know.
No,
not
I was going to say stop it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And one other thing, talking about sort of how things are changing in terms of the relationship between the open source project and VMware and so on. With SSE being end of availability and merged into VRA, have there been any sort of changes in terms of what people are thinking, or what the organization is thinking in terms of perhaps open sourcing any parts of SSE, like the API or the web interface or anything like that?
Great question. In fact, today I am going to be meeting to start some of those initial conversations on how those things get decided and where and how we communicate it. Because as we've made some of those changes, we want to really make sure that we have that process down, and that and then we can move forward with it. Because I think that there's been a lot of ask, like last week we had an ask for Delta Proxy, if that could become open source. I think there's been some asks about the native minions and some other things as well. And so we hear you, we're meeting on that, and we should have more that we can talk about in details in the next sort of month. I'm hoping to have more next week, but I can't really promise that since I haven't had that meeting yet. But
Cool.
I'm definitely working on it because I would like to move in that direction as well and be able to expose that.
Great. Thanks.
It's a great question. Thanks, Bernie.
So I have a question. When I try to when I go to the repo.saltstack.com and I want to install Salt Minion on any one of the Linux machines, there's a series of commands about how to add it, which would pull basically the Salt Minion code down, and you run it and go from there, and all that's fine. Is there a way to deliver pre-compiled Salt Minion to an air-gapped computer, or would I have to set up a separate repo manager like Foreman Catello in order to pull that down? And
Like in an RPM or a wheel?
yeah,
That's a good question. And I think as we've been, well, I'm probably not the best person to talk about this, but probably either Megan, maybe Bryce, but we've been talking about some of this stuff, maybe Pedro in the future, especially as we move towards Tiamat, and I'm not exactly sure. Pedro, Megan, Bryce.
So you want, sorry, can you repeat the question?
yeah, absolutely. I have to do installs of Salt Minion onto air-gapped computers, and so for Mac and Windows, not a problem because I can just deliver a pre-compiled installer. For Linux, right now, obviously, I have to go through the steps to add a link to the repo and then do the pull from there. Is there a way to deliver a pre-compiled, like Debian package or RPM package that has the entire Salt Minion contents into it?
So you can easily mirror a specific repo. There's instructions on repo.saltstack.com on how to mirror, and you don't have to mirror the entire thing. You can adjust the path to just do like a specific distro version. I mean, that doesn't get you all the way down to just a single package, but it does make it not too terrible to install on an air-gapped network.
You can also use, like Sage said, Tiamat. If you look at the Salt dash package repo on GitLab, you can see how we're generating those RPMs and Debians. Those are in beta, but you can definitely build your own with your own dependencies into a single binary or RPM, or however you want to distribute that as well.
Okay, so I should look up Tiamat for how to do that then.
Yeah, and look, I'll post the links unless somebody just did for me. Awesome. Yeah, thank you. So that's the repository where we have all of our configurations for like our RPMs and Debian packages, which it does use Tiamat. So you can kind of see how we're doing it. I don't think it has super updated documentation yet because we're still working on it. It's in beta, but you can definitely go take a look and see how we're doing it. And feel free to ask me any questions on Slack if you need help getting started.
Okay, no, I truly appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, great question. Does anybody have more?
I guess since there's one other thing, I did notice that the beacons.save is still not working quite right. It's not making the beacons persistent after you run a save, but I think that's been an SEP for a while now. So wondering if that was going to be, is that going to be added soon? Is that going in for aluminum?
There's a PR that's in the queue that's waiting to be merged for the aluminum release.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yep.
And Gary, I see that you joined, and I want to make sure that you heard the question previously from Barney that we are talking about, and I have some conversations. We did take it up the chain to talk about specifically how things are going to be open sourced, what things will be in our decision-making process, and I'm having that today. And that's moving forward. I'm sorry that it's slow. I don't have a better answer for you, but I did move on it.
Oh no, I appreciate that, and I did hear the question, so that's great news, and it's great to hear. If other people are asking for other elements to be open source, maybe it lends a little bit more weight. So
completely, and I think as we're just transitioning everything, it'd be really great for us to expose what our process is. How do we make that decision? What's the criteria? You know, how does this process even work? So that we can do that, and I don't think we know today, so we're going to figure that out.
Great. I actually had a question. I've noticed on a couple of the working groups I've started sitting in that paid SALT employees are starting to be pulled off of them. Is that a general trend across all the working groups, or is that really just a reoptimization of working groups that haven't been well attended by the community, shall we say? Like, for example, the Docs working group and the Salt Cloud working group.
Yeah, the latter. And it's interesting because like the formulas working group, I have to ask people to go to it. I go to it so that I can hit record, because the community is just taking off with it and they attend and they are doing their thing. And then some of the others have kind of fallen off, or they're taking a pause. They don't necessarily have an initiative, and that's fine. And of course, we're looking to start a new one. And so that sort of evolution of those working groups is sort of an ebb and flow, sort of depending. And I've kind of let that grow organically because it was new and we wanted to see how the community would receive it. And that's just kind of how it's gone. Although I'd love to see more community involvement in all of them, and would take feedback on how we could garner that better. Maybe it's not through a working group.
Yeah, no, that's great. I just was hoping it's not just part of a larger trend of pulling paid resources off the working groups. Is really just optimizing for the working groups that are basically being successful. Great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and have an initiative. I think that something that you see in a lot of open source communities is just that ebb and flow. And so I think that that's healthy, and not a ton we can do about it necessarily, recognizing it for what it is. But I would also love to see more people that have an interest in whatever, if it's not a working group today, or if it fits in one of the working groups, that we are harnessing that and getting that communicated and then working through those. And that piece is a little fuzzier. Like, how do I know that needs to happen if I haven't been told? And so I hope that I'm approachable enough. I hope that we're having these meetings enough that people feel like they could say that, and we can open it up to it.
Okay, so that actually leads me to a third question.
Yeah.
So what is kind of the future for Salt Cloud? Because I know with SSE being end of life and being rolled into VRA, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think VRA kind of has a lot of the cloudy functions already in it. So kind of what's the direction for Salt Cloud? I mean, I assume it's going to continue to exist in the open source, but is it going to continue to get Salt developers working on it as well, or is it going to be all community driven?
That's a good question. I don't know that I have the answer. If anybody on the call does.
There's development on item, right? Will that kind of be where most of the development goes?
So, but Salt Cloud will continue to exist, and I don't know that it has an end of life. Salt Cloud does necessarily, that it will continue to be supported. And there's some things that are, I don't want to say duplicate, but overlap with item and Salt Cloud, and doing it just differently. But as far as I understand, Salt Cloud will still be supported, and we'll continue to develop it. I don't have any other information otherwise.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks.
I know Tyler's still contributing to it, at least. We were talking about that yesterday. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, there's no discussion of wrapping that up. So.
Yeah. But I can also take that back and make sure that I'm correct on that, and talk to some other people. Not exactly sure who, but I will figure that out.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
So what will become of the training and certificate programs for the Salt Open?
That's a great question. I don't know that I know necessarily. We are continuing. In fact, I think that we are having more trainings next week and the week following. There's lots of trainings, and so as far as I know, it's just continuing. And I haven't heard otherwise that would stop. I think that it's very robust and will just continue. I can follow up with that, with who heads that up, and make sure that that's correct. As far as I know, it is today, because they are full classes.
Awesome, thank you.
Folks, where can I read regarding the ending of life of SSE? Actually, there is an announcement or what?
No, we were talking about if Salt Cloud had an end of life, not
not Salt Enterprise.
Yeah, so I think there's, well, I don't know how well it's been communicated, but I know some people have been confused. So the SSE project is getting absorbed into VRA. So as a standalone thing, it will be kind of end of life, but the all of the functionality that you know today, all of those capabilities are going to be part of VRA, at least if I understand it correctly.
Actually, this is Dave Boucher. Could I make a couple additions to that to kind of clarify?
Please.
So yeah, I've actually spoken to several customers yesterday and today about this. Unfortunately, the email, I think, kind of came from a business process mindset. They're terminating the SaltStack SKU, and it scared a lot of people. SaltStack Enterprise is not going away. It is still a key part of VMware's drivers moving forward. What the email should have said is that SaltStack Enterprise, since we've been purchased by VMware, will now be essentially known as vRealize Standard Plus. So you will still be able to purchase what is now SaltStack Enterprise as an independent, standalone tool with no other VMware packages, as known as vRealize Standard Plus. And essentially what they're saying is like the SKU, that number is no longer going to be in SaltStack, is now part of VMware. So that is continuing on. There will be, for customers who already have purchased their own vRealize automation, you will get the main SaltStack Enterprise portion of that included as part of your vRealize automation license. And while there will be some new plugins and tighter integrations between SaltStack, what is now SaltStack Enterprise, and vRealize and the other VMware tools, you will still be able to purchase what is now SaltStack Enterprise independently as its own tool. So for everyone that was worried about that email, you are fine. What that means is, if you're a current customer, at your next renewal, you will do that under the VMware name and not the SaltStack name. That's all it is. If you're a current SaltStack customer and you have a multi-year agreement, VMware is going to honor those agreements and support contracts through the duration of your contract at your current terms. And the only difference is when you renew at the end of your multi-year deal, you'll renew under the VMware name. And so that'll be, it'll still be available. So nothing has materially changed, just some name changes, and you're all good. So if you have any other questions, please reach out. We want to make sure people understand that and are, their concerns are addressed. So anybody else have any questions about that?
Yeah, first of all, I'm not sure which email you mentioned. It's a public information, or it's not yet public information?
So the
We just
email I
we're
was
not yet
referring-
the customers. We kind of thinking about buying. So
Oh, yeah. So I think the email I was referring to was sent out to all current SaltStack Enterprise customers. So I mean, it's not private. I mean, this is not something that's like sensitive, and if you're considering it, yeah, it'll still be available. It'll still essentially work how it does right now. So, are you currently doing a POC? Are you working with anybody right now?
I mean, we did the POC. We have like a critical bug for us which blocks the purchase, and we kind of not sure to whom talk, because we talk with VMware guys, we talk with Salt guys. It is kind of in the mix, and who is on who, and what's the roadmap? Are you going to fix it or not? So it's we in this stage right now. So
okay, do you need? Would you like me to help kind of shepherd that and find out who to talk to?
I mean, if you can, it would be cool. I mean, the only thing what like we're really interested in is if the other bug what we reported is in the roadmap, and basically when, what's the timelines, because we like current enterprise solution cannot parse the orchestrate output. It just gives a JSON. It's unusable. So we just wonder, like, it should be like 2 days fix, honestly, guys, just open source it. But anyway.
I'll tell you what, if you want to just go ahead and send me an email, and then we can talk about this offline, and I can help try to figure out what status that
Can
is.
you post your email in chat, or should I post? I'm not sure how it should do it.
Yep, I'll just post it in chat. And
thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. Are there any other questions on anything with SaltStack Enterprise and the VMware purchasing of things?
Bernie, did we answer your question in the chat being merged into VRA?
Yeah, I mean, it would be good to understand a bit of the roadmap around that. I don't want to get too much into SC stuff here, but it'd be good to understand a bit of the roadmap and how SaltStack Enterprise integrating with VRA and being maintained as a separate product is actually going to work, because that's certainly from the perspective of myself and some of the customers I work with, the idea that that's going to be maintained also as a standalone product on a long-term basis.
Yeah,
seems unrealistic.
That's a great question. So yeah, so there are a number of things that are still kind of in flux and how the integrations are going to happen. So I can't give you, I don't have a exact answer for all the details yet. But there are a number of products that VMware has that you can purchase as part of a suite, and you can purchase them individually. And this is going to be the same thing with SaltStack Enterprise. So there is a name for it. It's vRealize Standard Plus. That is SaltStack Enterprise as it is right now.
Terrible name.
What's that?
It's a terrible name.
Yeah, it is a mouthful. I think there's actually another word or two in there. I just drop it off. So
I think so.
Yeah, it's, it is a mouthful.
Nobody on this call decided this, but it was decided by committee.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits for SaltStack being part of VMware. Some of the drawbacks are some of like the big committees that decide things. So this was decided by a committee. And so, yeah, that's kind of a mouthful. And then as far as the roadmap that we know so far, they're definitely, as of right now, if you're a vRealize customer, as of 8.2, you can download from your My VMware portal, you can download what is now known as SaltStack Config, which is a part of vRealize Automation. And even 8.3, which will be released fairly soon, will even have tighter integrations. Because Salt and SaltStack Enterprise are so pluggable, it's really just additional plugins to Salt to kind of tie that into the vRealize product. So it's still going to be very easy to keep. It's not like there's two code paths or two different projects. It is just what is currently SaltStack Enterprise will continue forward. There will be more additional plugins, obviously, to tie into the VMware world of applications. But if you don't use those, vRealize Standard Plus will continue to work as it is. You'll buy your licenses and it'll work on any, bare metal servers, VMware servers, AWS, anywhere Salt works now, it will continue to work that way. So there are still some things on the roadmap that they're kind of deciding on. We don't have all the details, but they've been very clear on these pieces so far, and they will have more details coming out. So that's what we know so far.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, I've asked about our roadmap a couple of times and have gotten that we're working on it. So we'll continue to keep you guys informed as much as we know. And I'll continue to work with that and work with Dave. Thank you, Dave, for being here. I really appreciate it.
And can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
So, I've been on Salt's engineering teams for years and years, and I've been on the sales engineering team for a couple of years now. And
he modestly says for years and years. He's one of the OGs.
Yep, he's an original.
Yeah, and and so I've been in some meetings with kind of the engineering side and on sales side, and I think people are, whenever an open source project is purchased by a large company, people are concerned about that, and I think even as employees, we're kind of like a little worried. The only reason the whole purchase went through is Tom Hatch was assured and felt assured that the Salt project is going to continue to be an important thing. It'll be around and supported. And everything that I've seen has led me to believe, to agree with that. Having Salt be, VMware wanted to have the last piece to have a top to bottom management of their tools. They had a big gap there where the configuration management was left open to other third parties, and that'll still be available, so people can still use Puppet and Salt and Ansible and other tools for the configuration management. But VMware wanted to be able to provide, like, hey, if you don't already have a configuration management tool, here is a supported and powerful configuration management tool that we have. That was a big gap they had in their product portfolio. And so this is really important to them. This is not something that's just going to be, swept under the rug after a few weeks. This is important to VMware. They want to have top to bottom, manage your VMs, manage your whole life cycle, including the configuration. So Salt is being invested in. This is very important, from ground level up to the higher up VPs and executives of the company. And it's been really comforting to me as, I say, an OG, longtime Salt employee. This is important to VMware. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And I think that's what we're hearing. Sorry, Janae. I think that's what we're hearing. And as we hear in the next meetup, that's our topic. That's what we have a lot of support for the open source project going forward. And we have it from VMware, and they want to know what we're doing. They want to know how we've done it. They want to be able to mimic what we've done, and they love our community. That's you guys. So thank you.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, it's huge. So, Dave, I'm really glad you're on this call. It's really awesome, very helpful. Do we have anything else?
Gosh, thank you guys for your questions. I briefly saw that email, and so I was a little bit surprised by that. I was like, no, that's not ending. But now that I've connected the dots with Dave here, thank you, Dave, because it's like, oh, I see what you mean. And thank you for asking those tough questions, and thank you for the feedback.
Yeah, that does explain them. A lot of things that I think a lot of people are confused about.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, well, thanks everyone so much for being here. Particularly, we always, of course, appreciate the core team being here available to answer questions. Dave Boucher, thanks for being here. And most importantly, you guys, the community. We're so glad you're here so we can talk to you and meet your needs and hear what you're saying and respond to that. Our community, like we talked about over and over, is just the most important part of SALT to us. So appreciate you being at Open Hour. Keep an eye out for notes and for what's happening. We hope you can all join us next Wednesday to listen to Tom and Suzanne talk more about VMware and open source and how that all ties in. So, okay, well, thanks guys. Have a great rest of your Thursday.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.